What is going on, guys? I know I look like a caveman, but I really want to get this video. I got some time. Let's talk about it. So, we're going to talk about the collusion case, and then we're going to get into RG3 being a cornball. So, for my Instagram people, you won't get the cornball rant because I want to make that YouTube exclusive. So, if you want to listen to me talk about how terrible RG3 is, it's a cornball. Go over to YouTube. Link is in the bio, blah, blah, blah. So my YouTube audience, let's get into it. So the NFL's collusion case. So I'm reading off of Google. So the NFL recently faced a collusion case brought by the PA, the NFL PA, alleging that the owners colluded to limit guaranteed contracts for quarterbacks after the Browns signed Deshaun Watson to the fully guaranteed deal. Now, I could have told you that. I mean, Lamar Jackson was on the market, and all you had to do was pay him top dollar, and I think a first-round pick, but nobody wanted him. The guy had, I think he had one MVP at this time. The guy had an MVP. He was on an upward trajectory. He just carried that terrible Baltimore team. Well, not terrible, but he carried that Baltimore team with no receivers to the playoffs in almost the AFC Championship game. And nobody wanted him. Atlanta didn't want him, and they needed a quarterback. And I think this is pre our guy in Houston, pre CJ Stroud. It was so. This is pre Tua. This is a precursor to a lot of guys that we look at now like, okay, those possibly could be franchise altering guys. And like, my thing is, duh. I mean, we kind of knew this. Why are we surprised that the NFL has a collusion case against him? I mean, you want to talk about the NBA giving people the suspect that they're rigged. The NFL got that in spades. You know, I don't believe they're rigged. Don't get in my comments talking about that. But Deshaun Watson wanted a guaranteed contract after all the stuff that he went through, whether I don't think he did it or you think he did it. He got a guaranteed contract after that and was terrible. Like, let's remove all the cases and stuff and look at the product on the field. Deshaun Watson has not been Deshaun Watson since the playoff game against Kansas City. So, like, to look, even without the collusion, you could look at that and say, I'm not giving nobody the guaranteed contract because the last guy we gave a guaranteed contract to, it was Deshaun Watson. But also, you can't do that. And then also, Kirk Cousins has like the highest career earnings in history. Like his career earnings. Kirk Cousins ranks 6th all time in career earnings per Google. And you're telling me that there's no collusion in the NFL? The NFL is nothing but a collusion. Like, it's Kirk Cousins, who hasn't won anything. I know I'm going to get a text from my friend. Kirk Cousins hasn't won anything. 6th all time in career earnings. Tom Brady not even. I don't know. I didn't look at this. I didn't look at the whole list, but Kirk Cousins 6th all time in career earnings, coming off an ACL, and that's what Atlanta picked. Now they lucked up and got Penix. We're gonna cover Penix this year, but they lucked up and got Penix. But it's like you had a chance to get Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick 2.0, the better version, and like completely in the NFC. This is before Jalen. This is before the Eagles is building a dynasty they about to go on. This is before all that. You had a chance to get your guy and run that division for the next 15 years. This is way after Cam Newton, Bryce Young. Bryce Young is your quarterback. We don't know what he's going to be. Then you have Tampa Bay. I like Baker, but Baker's not Lamar. Then you have the Falcons, which if they had Lamar, they would be the runaway. And then you have New Orleans, who is in cap hell and won't be anything for the next probably 10 years. So you had a chance to go on a special run in Atlanta. You had a chance to do that, and you picked no. It's like, why would you do that? And then Arthur Blank came out and said whatever he said about it. I'll put the quotes on the screen. He came out and said that they didn't need him. And it's like, you got a decent defense. You're in a terrible division. You're in the NFC. You legit have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And you chose not to have Lamar. Like I said, you lucked up and got Penix, but I like Penix. I think Penix is going to be good, but he's not Lamar Jackson. So, I don't know. The collusion case makes a lot of sense. I could have told you that they was colluding. Like, I don't think we need like a big case for that. Like, the way they suppress these players' markets, the way they turn the media against the players whenever they want the money they want, the way that these players, the way that the NFL manipulates everything. Like, I don't know if you guys or like play sports games, but I'm a gamer. And the NFL pretty much just strong-armed EA into being the exclusive home of their game. They don't care. If it makes dollars, it makes sense to them. And if it's not what they want, they don't do it. If they want to suppress a market, they're going to suppress a market. And they've suppressed the quarterback market by making you seem like if you take less, you're helping the team. When in actuality, we don't know where all the money for the Patriots went. Tom Brady took a pay cut for like 10 years. He never had no top 10 receivers. Every time he got a top 10 receiver, they was on the back nine of their career, other than Randy Moss. Shout out to Eli. And it's like, the NFL been doing this. So, like, for them in big 2025 to be like, oh, we're having a case. It's like, the NFL colluding is about as American as apple pie. It just is. It just is. So, that's my soapbox. So, Instagram. Head over to the YouTube channel. We're going to talk about this cornball. So, RG3, and I think I feel compelled to talk about this because RG3 is a black quarterback. I've done videos on RG3. I've talked about how I wish RG3 was, he was healthy. Like, there's a video that I shelved because I didn't want to slander RG3's name because, you know, we're about positive black men over here. When we talk about a black woman, I kind of feel like I have to talk about it. I let him get away with the Angel Reese slander the first time. I didn't cover it, right? And then when I can't remember her name, she does really, really good work on the NFL ESPN. Mina Kimes. Shout out to Mina Kimes. I would hope to be that knowledgeable about sports when I get to that level. And she does phenomenal work for ESPN. And they had a back and forth. And Mina Kimes just slandered RG3. And I didn't want to make a video about it because I didn't want to like uphold this Chinese American over a black man. And I'm like, okay, let me not do that, right? But this is where, and I'm not going to put the screenshot up. You're going to have to just go to Twitter and Google Angel Reese RG3. So, Angel Reese has recently got the cover of 2K26. Basketball game, the only basketball game in the market, NBA, WNBA. And so, white folks or racists or bigots, being racist bigots, they photoshopped her silhouette and made it look like a monkey face. And made it look like a monkey face, and it's all over Twitter, right? And so most people are like, that's terrible. Why would you do that? And so he takes this opportunity to share it, and not only share it to his millions, I don't know, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of followers, you share it and then make yourself the victim in the Twitch thread. So it's like, and everybody's slandering him for this, right? Ryan Clark talked about him and talked about how his biggest trait, and it doesn't seem like I'm paraphrasing what RC said, but made it seem like that his wife, her biggest characteristic is that she was white and not that she was a good person. And RG3 said she's a good person. She's more than just being white. And I agree with that. You know, if you're going to marry somebody, let's not marry them because they're white. Let's marry them because they're a good person, right? But like for RG3 to take that moment and make it about him being a victim after you slandered Angerice talking about she's jealous of Caitlin Clark and all this and this and blah, 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 and da, 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 and all this other BS. It's like, what are we doing, RG3? Is this about you or this is about her? Because why did you share that? Why did you share that? Just so you can get the big butter biscuit along with Stephen A. Smith? Like, with Charles Barkley and them? Like, it's just like, RG3 was also the cat that when nobody wanted to eat that cake, Lamar didn't want to eat it, Derrick Henry didn't want to eat it, hell, even Pat didn't want to eat it. His black side was showing up. Pat didn't want to eat that cake. And here, RG3 go on TV. If I can find it, I'll show it. He all on TV, rah, rah, eating the cake on Thanksgiving. And it's like, you cornball ass nigga. Like, excuse my language. And it's just like, dude, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? And so for him to first share that photo and then make it about him being a victim and saying he got sources that's amongst Angel Reese's circle that's doing this and doing that, it's like her mama shouldn't have to quote tweet this saying, no, you don't. Angel Reese Sr. should not have to come out and be like, no, that's not what happened. The Angel Reese shared my circle this small, it's just my boyfriend. It's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, RG? Like, you've made some questionable TikToks, and if that's the type of comedy you like, that's the type of comedy you like, right? But like, to be this much of a cornball, you don't have to like Angel. I'm not sitting there saying that Angel is above reproach. I'm not saying that she's above reproach. But like, I'd rather you say that she's not a good basketball player than like insinuating that she's a monkey and all these things. She's a beautiful woman with a great game, and I can't wait to see what she becomes. But for you to not leave it on the court or anything else she's doing, but to go strictly racial to get acceptance from your white audience, it's like, I see why Rob Parker said what he said all them years ago. Rob Parker is a cornball too, but he ain't you. He ain't you, bro. Like, what you did for Lamar, I greatly appreciate that. You gave me something to cheer about. You one of the first black quarterbacks that I loved. I F with you to the core when it comes to on-field stuff. Your career should have been longer. The fact that you got injured and blah, blah, blah. But like, even towards the end of that, when Mike Shanahan didn't want to change the offense, but you wanted to be more Peyton Manning. And we saw where that took you. And it's just... well, it's Kyle Shanahan, excuse me. It was Kyle Shanahan. It's just like, man, how big of a cornball can you be, bro? Like, but yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for y'all. I could go longer, but it's gonna get more insensitive the longer I go. So, hey, what's going on, guys? I know this video is chaotic as hell. Excuse the craziness going on behind me, but so Teddy Bridgewater was suspended. Y'all know he was at the high school helping them kids win and just being a good former player, right? So it turns out he was suspended for that, right? Apparently, as a coach, you can't take care of your kids. And now this is all of the aspect of if this is real. I'll do another follow-up video if more comes out that this is not true and everything. But on the back of the RG3 thing, you have this, where you do what you can for the community and like you constantly be like, help me, help me, help me, and then they don't help you. And then you do it yourself. And then you end up getting suspended because of rules, so to speak. So shout out to Teddy. I saw one of his Facebook posts. Might not have been Facebook. I'm sure it was some type of social media where he talked about he'll just go back to what he was doing, coaching from the sideline. So it's what really messed up is the kids feel this more than the people, the suits that's making the decisions. You can say that about any industry nowadays, but yeah, that's how I felt about it. I wanted to get that out. And yeah, shout out to Teddy Bridgewater. Let me know what you guys think. Y'all be on some crazy stuff in the comments. You will be blocked. You will be deleted, blah, blah, blah. I know my channel's small, but I don't play that. So let me know what you guys think. What do y'all think about the NFL collusion case? What you guys want me to cover for the Hall of Fame game? We'll probably get into some too early predictions within the next few weeks as we wind in the summer down as far as football concerned. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.